everybody. Lawman Mike with Lawman Guitars. That's www.lawmanguitars.com. Okay, I know I say this all the time. I have the most fantastic guitar ever, but today I kind of do. This is a guitar that I have always wanted. I saw my first one when I was 10 years old, which would have been 1962. This is a Gibson Byrdland guitar. Now, Byrdlands have been around since 1955. They are just fantastic guitars. They play so easy, they sound so great, and I just absolutely love them. I found this one just last week here in Des Moines, Iowa, and of course I couldn't walk out of the shop without it. Now this particular one is made in 1977. It's got gold hardware. Everything on it is absolutely perfect, including the witch hat knobs, which a lot of times you see those replaced. Those are the original knobs. It has the original Byrdland embossed tailpiece, the original Tune-O-Matic bridge, the gold pickups, covers, gold tuners. Everything on this guitar is original except the pickguard. Now, let me tell you a little bit about what happened back in the 70s. The nitrocellulose pickguards that they put on these guitars would gas. What that means is they gave out an odor that reacted with some of the chrome and the gold coatings on the metal pieces. This one was no exception. They left the pickguard on it too long. It started to gas and deteriorate a little bit, which then gassed some of the, fortunately only on the pickup covers. You can see they're just a little decolored. You see that all the time on these. So the original owner, which by the way, this was a one-owner guitar until I got my hands on it. You will be the second owner of this guitar. Replaced the pickguard, and I'm happy to tell you, I'll show you here in just a minute, the original's in the case in a nice little plastic bag that won't affect the guitar anymore. The guitar is absolutely beautiful. It's beautiful maple with a nice spruce carved top. It's bound in the sound holes. It's like 1, 2, 3. It must be like a 5 or 6 ply binding on the body. It's got the L5 appointment on the end of the fingerboard, and it just is just a stunning, stunning, stunning guitar. The pictures will never reveal how beautiful this guitar is. The back with that maple is book matched, and it's flamey, and the neck is flamey. This guitar is absolutely fantastic. Now, let's play it a little bit just so you get an idea how this guitar sounds. I was playing it on the lead pickup, which is, or the front pickup, which is usually where I end up. I like the tones that you get out of your neck pickups. Let's combine it with the back humbucker and see how it sounds all together. Now, let's get to that back pickup, which I love. Okay, now, a lot of times in these guitars, especially a lot of guitars that aren't Gibsons, those back pickups will lay off a little bit. They're not quite as piercing. They're not quite as in your face. There is no fall off. These two pickups are absolutely balanced perfectly, and it just sounds absolutely fantastic. Now, let's talk a little bit about Byrdlands themselves. Where's the name Byrdland come from? I'd like to tell you that back in 1955, Gibson put Billy Byrd and Hank Garland together and came up with the Byrdland guitar. It was designed for the two of them. They had their say in what it would be And back in 1955, is this what they came up with? And they looked pretty much like this all the way through 1960 with nice rounded corners in the cutaway and just looked pretty much like this 1977. In 1961, they went to a more pointed Florentine cutaway, which you've seen a lot of Byrdlands that have the pointed cutaway here, which would be 1961 through 69. Also equally beautiful. I'm just more drawn to the rounded corners, which back in 1970 through 1993, which was one of the last ones made, they went back to the rounded corners like the original Byrdlands. And of course, when I saw this, I said, all right, it's old, I know that. How old is it? It wasn't as old as I thought because they all look alike. But it is a 1977, and it just is fantastic. Now, the scale on these is a little shorter than a lot of the jazz guitars. It's, I think, 24 and 3/4 inch scale necks. So it plays a lot like a Strat or something like that. It's just super easy to play. I just love how they work with your hands, and they're just, you can stretch to a lot of chords that normally you wouldn't be able to hit on, say, a Johnny Smith or Trini Lopez or some of those other models. So anyway, this guitar is just fantastic. Plays like a dream. I didn't have to do anything. It was already so well set up. All I did is the strings were a little old. I changed the strings, cleaned it up some, and got it ready to bring and demo for you guys. So you get this just absolutely stunning, stunning guitar from Gibson. And I'm happy to report that, yes, I do, like most of our guitars at Lawman Guitars, have the original Gibson case, which we know it's Gibson case because it says Gibson on it. So that's the good news. This case is in also remarkable shape for 1977. It's got, of course, the purple lining, which you'd want to see in the 70s cases. They went from the pink in the 60s and yellow to the purple, pinkish purple for the 1970s. Now, I mentioned in the pocket here, here's the original pick guard with some of the original screws that are also all gassed up. Just to have it is always nice. There's some extra information in here. And the owner had done some research on the guitar. I have that. It's not in the case, but I'll include that. This guitar in natural was one of only 20 out of 42 made in 1977. So there was a lot more sunburst made than the clear coated ones that this one is. And for those of you who know, they save the best woods for the natural colored ones because they don't have any dings, they don't have any knots, they don't have all the things that they would use on a sunburst guitar that they can cover up with paint. So anyway, one other thing I want to tell you about the guitar, I forgot, it is a second. It's stamped second on the back of the headstock. I've seen two of them that had that in the Byrdlands. And apparently back in those days they would have some slight, usually they were finish problems, that they weren't quite satisfied with the finish. They would sell them as a second. They marked them off a couple $100 or something and sold them for that. You will never be able to figure out why this one was called a second from where it's attained over the years. But anyway, you get the fantastic 77 Gibson Byrdland guitar. You get the great case. You get it all together. It's just, you will love, love, love this guitar. I will be sad when it goes. So check it out, all our guitars at www.lawmanguitars.com, or go directly to reverb.com where I have all my guitars listed now. Just go to reverb.com and type in Lawman Guitars and it'll immediately bring up our shop. I think I've got 150 cool guitars in there now. So check out this one and all the great guitars we have at Lawman Guitars, www.lawmanguitars.com. Hey, I really appreciate you watching this today. Thank you.